What's up guys, this is Vanilla, not the flavor, which is the sweet. If there's one thing I love other than anime and cartoons, it's books. And no, I don't mean manga or popular literature. I loved reading books that stood the test of time. Books that kids and adults alike would enjoy reading. Books that I can still see on bookstores and you want to reread it because the message that it presents still strikes you. I speak, of course, of The Little Prince. Now I love this book. I've been reading it since the 5th grade and I'm still reading it until today. I carry this book as a reminder that the Little Prince is probably somewhere out there tending to her flower and cleaning out the 3 volcanoes he has. But some people have approached me and asked, Yo girl, why you still reading that book's for a little kid? I cuff my hands. If you're also asking that, well, it's clear that you haven't read the book. And I totally recommend you read it. It's only 96 pages and there's pictures too. Despite being a children's story, it's actually intended for adults. And I can explain all that in my defense of The Little Prince. Let's not dilly-dally, let's go ahead to the first part. The first hint is the main character, or the narrator. Either way, it's in the first person perspective, so it doesn't really matter what we call him. The narrator is an adult, and the story is told in the adult's perspective. But what's fascinating is that it's written in the way that adults and kids alike would understand its contents. And perhaps the reason why this book is childish is because of its simple presentation of ideas. But that's the whole point. It's because of this writing style that this book became such a hit. For a pilot, Antoine de Saint-Exupéry really knows how to cater all these. When I say adult topics, I don't mean sex, or drugs, or politics. I mean literal adult topics. The ones that grown-ups live throughout their lives. That includes money, work, property, etc. Why do I keep saying etc.? For example, when the Little Prince left his planet, he traveled across many more, like a world with a man endlessly counting stars and claiming its ownership, and a world with a man repeatedly lighting and blowing off the lantern lights. If you think about it, it's not so different with what adults do all the time. Spending too much time on their jobs, ensuring their properties, looking at everything as figures, numbers, etc. There I go again with the etc. And it's all presented in an hilarious and philosophical manner, as if all that work was nonsensical and pointless. The true message behind it is how adults give importance to those that can always be retrieved and forget everything that they might even lose. And like youth, or life, or love, friendship, etc. Here we go again with etc. It teaches us that we should treasure the moments we have while we have them. You can always forget money and work, but what you cannot see is something that is more important than anything else. As the Little Prince says, it is only with the heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye. Now feel free to use that for your yearbook. If there's one truth the book has shown to us, whether you admit it or not, it's the truth that we were all kids once. We never would have become a grown-up if we weren't first a child. The Little Prince reminded the pilot of how imaginative he was before he was tainted by the ideals of the grown-ups. So if you hate kids, remember, you were a kid once too. If you see them as clumsy or ignorant, you were like that too. If you say you hate childish activities, you did those too. In short, we were all innocent once. We were untouched, we are free. Why did I say untouched? Anyway, this is perhaps the true message that the Little Prince wanted to convey. And that, my friends, is the reason why I still read The Little Prince. You know what? I might just read it again because it is so good, you won't even get tired of it. So what about you guys? Have you read The Little Prince? If so, what do you think of it? Do you share the same opinion, or maybe you have a different opinion as me? You can leave those in the comments below. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and also subscribe down there for more videos like this. As always, this is Vanilla, not the flavor, but just the sweet.